In case you didn't have enough new games on your wish list after the latest Steam Next Fest this month, here's yet another list of games for you to potentially keep an eye on and make time for. No, I'm not sorry about it.
Wait.
The developers of Hell Let Loose have been one of the indie scene's quiet success stories over the years. Formerly Black Matter Games based out of Australia, the team sold Hell Let Loose to publisher Team 17 back in January 22 for the hefty sum of $41.9 million. Not bad for what was originally a Kickstarter-funded game. Since then, they've created a new studio called Good Fun Corporation and have been hard at work on 2 new Unreal Engine 5 titles. The first of which is Hunger, which was properly revealed a couple months ago as a new PvPvE horror extraction shooter. Now, before I lose you, the developers actually describe Hunger as more of an RPG experience with the high-stakes loop of a multiplayer extraction shooter. There's no character wipes like you normally see in other similar-looking games, like Hunt Showdown. The game has persistent progression for your character, story, unlocks, and an endgame that builds on the core loop by introducing additional challenges through dungeons, boss fights, and of course, player versus player combat. The first gameplay trailer looks really impressive, with a dark, grimy aesthetic, and based on how much I've personally loved what they did with Hell Let Loose, Hunger is high up on my games to watch. This team knows how to make a really competent and fun game in the FPS space, that's for sure. It's due out this year in Steam Early Access, and if their Steam page is anything to go by, the launch will have plenty of content for you to check out. If Hunger was too dark and grimy for you, then maybe Paper Sky is more up your alley. Being developed by Mathieu Hallier, based out of France, the game has you controlling a piece of paper as you traverse a stylized semi-open world with lots of variety in art styles. Paper Sky seems to take quite a bit of inspiration from games like XO1 and Journey, as you can morph into other shapes like a ball, a boat, and more as you traverse the world. There's apparently even an entire folding simulator in the game to make the shapes you want for your papercraft. While the game may look super cozy, Hallier does indicate that there will be some challenge as you contend with the physics systems to get your papercraft moving by finding the right wind patterns, building momentum, and using different areas of the environment to your advantage. You can also leave messages behind for other players to give them helpful hints, but Hallier says testers have already been leaving very personal stories within those letters as well. I think it's a really neat feature that lends itself to that Journey-esque vibe the game has going for it. There's a demo for Paper Sky already available on Steam if you want to give it a go, with the full release planned for November of this year. Also, if you find a D's Nuts joke message somewhere in the world, you probably know who left that. Married couple Danny Weinbaum and Jacqueline Chazaldo, based out of Seattle, are one of those indie success stories you love to write about if you cover video games. You may know them as the developers of Eastshade, a game that had you traveling the open world as a painter and making friends along the way. The duo put everything on the line to make this game a reality, reportedly stretching their savings to the absolute limit, putting their farm on the line, and even moving in with Weinbaum's mother to get it done. The game went on to sell 200,000 copies on Steam and had over 1 million downloads on Game Pass as of 2 years ago. Now, the couple has moved on to making Songs of Glimmerwick, which is a story-driven Witch Academy RPG. It's got classes to attend, farming to farm, people to mingle with, and spells, which are all musical by the way, to learn. The game looks extremely pretty, which is no surprise considering their past work on Eastshade, but Songs of Glimmerwick is also using a really unique top-down perspective with different tricks to give it more visual depth than you're probably used to for these types of games. Between Songs of Glimmerwick and the upcoming Witchbrick from Chucklefish, we've got 2 really good-looking story-driven magic RPGs on the way. No release date on this one yet, but the developers have been uploading periodic developer diaries on their YouTube channel if you'd like updates on the game. Now, I'm not personally the biggest player of Metroidvania type games, but if there's one that I'm keeping on my radar, it's a new game from Halberd Studios, based out of Mexico. Mariachi Legends is a combat-focused Metroidvania and has one of the most unique art styles I've seen in quite a while for a game like this, clearly wearing its Mexican heritage on its sleeve to great effect. However, there's more going on in Mariachi Legends than meets the eye, as the game is weaving together a lot of different gameplay mechanics that aren't typical for the genre. The main character, Pablo Cruz, isn't just a warrior who made a deal with death, he's also a detective. In between fighting bad guys at night, you'll also be doing detective work during the day to uncover different mysteries throughout your hometown, taking on challenging side quests, solving puzzles, and even cooking traditional Mexican dishes to upgrade your character. The game is planned to include a full day, night, and moon cycle that will open up different routes and secrets throughout the map if you visit at the right times. It all sounds very ambitious, but so far, things seem to be on the right track. Hubbard Studios funded Mariachi Legends through Kickstarter, and they've been very good at keeping backers updated on the status of the project. It's currently due out in Q2 2026 on Steam, but backers of the game will have access to a demo as soon as this September. A game that I'm worried is going to slip under a lot of people's radars is the Nightling from Twirlbound Studio. Based out of the Netherlands, Twirlbound's first project, Pine, was released all the way back in 2019. It started out as a student project that ended up becoming a full commercial release and was an ambitious undertaking for the new development team. Pine was a Zelda-like that featured an open world with a lot of systemic elements, including a whole simulated ecology system where different types of creatures in the world would battle it out over resources and territory around the map. It was a really solid effort for Twirlbound, and their next game, The Nightling, looks to take a lot of their learnings and apply them to an open-world action-adventure platforming game. When I got to play it at PAX West last year, it reminded me a hell of a lot of the original Jak and Daxter due to its world having a lot of nice visual variety and vibrant colors, but also you sort of have a companion in your trusty shield that's the real star of the game. The shield is used for combat and traversal, and the developers had made sure it's a lot of fun to wield if my time with the game was any indication. You can use it to slide, glide, fight, and of course defend yourself from the various enemies throughout the world. The Nightling, while it plays like a modern game, made me feel like I was playing a PS2 platformer again in all the right ways, and I'm excited to try the full thing when it releases on August 28th for Steam, PS5, Xbox, and presumably the Nintendo Switch 2, but that's not confirmed just yet. There is a demo on Steam available now if you want to give it a look yourself. After taking many of your name suggestions to heart in the last episode, we have decided to go with none of them and stick with Wishlist. I did like Recon though, so props to whoever sent that one in. See you the Sunday after next for another list of games to add to your ever-growing wishlist.